trust, whether it's for your home or your business. Action is well established and offers convenience and reliability, always committed to a job done right. Give them a call or visit their website at actionlincoln.com. Action, your proud sponsor of the Ticket Postgame Show. Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
Work out your stress and get back to feeling great at Planet Fitness. It's a great time to do your own thing. Now through October 13th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get back to a routine that's right for you with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Plus, check out the crowd meter in our free PF app for the best time to visit. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends October 13th. See club for details.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Sports news go now.
I'm Enrique Alvarez-Clary. The Nebraska football team rolled Northwestern 56-7 on Saturday in a game where it looked as if they could do no wrong. Head coach Scott Frost was asked after the game if he believed that there was a switch that had flipped for his team.
I think so. But, we've been playing pretty well since the first game. I was really down the first game. Since then, we've been consistently getting better, and we still have a lot of work to do. The schedule certainly isn't going to get easier. We got a bunch of ranked teams and elite teams down the stretch. So we're going to have to keep playing well. We're going to have to improve from what we did tonight.
Next up for the Huskers, another matchup with the top 25 team when number 9 Michigan comes to town this Saturday for the third straight night game for Nebraska, 6:30 p.m. kickoff on ABC. JoJo Domann was named the Big Ten Co-Defensive Player of the Week following his 9-tackle, 2-sack, and 2 forced fumble day against the Wildcats. Nebraska volleyball didn't face much adversity this weekend with 2 sweeps of Michigan on Friday and Michigan State on Sunday. The next 2 matchups of the Huskers will be outside the friendly confines at the Devaney Center when they travel to University Park to take on Penn State on Friday, October 8th at 6 p.m., then up to New Jersey for a noon game with Rutgers on Sunday, October 10th. The meeting with Penn State can be seen on BTN, while the Rutgers game will be on BTN+. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is the Happy Hour.
You guys going to happy hour?
Live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America.
Yeah, maybe I'll come for a couple.
Here are your hosts, Nick Sainert.
I want to know what it's like to commit a crime without having to spend time in jail.
And Enrique Alvarez-Clary.
C is for chunk.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. Happy Monday, folks. This is the Happy Hour, 93.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com. Nick Sainert, Enrique Alvarez-Clary with you. Hello, Rico.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Fantabulous.
That's awesome.
I am so happy.
I know it's Victory Monday, so it's exciting stuff. Why are you looking at me? Why are you looking like that?
Cut out.
Oh, okay. I said Victory Monday, and you looked off to the side, and I was like, "Am I wrong?"
Everything just stopped, and I thought I went deaf for a second.
That would be wild.
I was like, "What just
happened?" If you went deaf mid-show, there'd be complete panic.
I'd be like, I can't hear anything.
Yeah. Well, speaking of hearing things, I hope we had some problems at the back end of the Tom and Box show. We went off air, I guess, for a couple seconds. So hopefully you guys can hear us. If not, you'll be able to hear us on the stream. Facebook, no. Is Facebook working?
Facebook is still down. I don't know what's up with Facebook, but Facebook does not work.
Okay.
So you can only catch us on YouTube and Twitch.
Perfect. So if you normally go to Facebook, go to YouTube or Twitch, 93.7 The Ticket, same username, both places, and we'll be good to go. You can see our faces there. As always, 402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln hotline, starter Heyman text line. Both those are open for you all hour long. We have a lot of fun stuff to get to, as well as you can throw a comment on the stream. Okay, we got to get to our first text of the day. We didn't do this on Friday because of obvious reasons. We were destroying our stomachs. So the first text of the day goes to Rubber Duck from LinkedIn.
Congratulations, quack, quack, Rubber Duck from LinkedIn. You are today's winner of nothing.
So congratulations, Don.
Rubber Duck's
came
text
up.
also just says winner.
Yeah, man, you gotta chill on the. You don't know if you're a winner yet.
You know what I'm gonna start doing? If you're the first text, but it's not something clever, I'm gonna read the second text. Because guess what? You guys don't know. I know.
True. Yeah, that's a good
point. So come up with something better.
I'll try my best to keep him honest. Eric in Lincoln says, I will say it now. This is in all caps. I'm just not yelling into the mic.
You have to yell it. Just yell it away from the mic.
I will say it now.
I will say it now.
84-yard punt was the play of the game. Here, listen, man.
It got the okay, not the loudest, but it got a pretty loud ovation.
I tweeted this out, and it still reigns true. It was one of those, like, is it a TikTok trend where they're like, tell me something, everything's going right without telling me something? Yeah.
I don't know.
So there's this thing that says, tell me that everything is going Nebraska's way without telling me everything's going Nebraska's way.
84-yard punt.
84-yard punt by the guy that almost whiffed it last week.
He went from 7 yards to 84 yards.
So
that's called a glow up.
That's called a great week of practice. Best week of practice, maybe in his whole career.
They had a good week of punting.
Great week. They have punters at the university specifically for punting, and it showed in their one punt on Saturday.
Touche.
All right, we got a lot of stuff to get into. We're gonna get into Urban Meyer,
of course.
I have an embarrassing story from this morning,
of course.
We're gonna talk about Chase Winovich,
nobody in the Nebraska media wanted to say Chase Winovich today. Every single person asked the players. At least one person asked the player one time. Yeah, a couple years ago, a Michigan player said that, during the game, they could tell that you guys didn't really want to be there. Do you have anything to say about that? Or was he right or anything? I'm like, say his name. It's Chase Winovich.
It's Chase Winovich.
A couple years ago, Chase Winovich said that you guys didn't want to be on the field.
Yeah, we actually have the clip. You want to go ahead and play that?
Yeah.
So Chase Winovich, now at the Patriots, correct?
He is an edge rusher for the Patriots.
And this was after Nebraska lost to Michigan 56-10 in 2018. They were down 39-0 at half. Let me just read through some stats here before we get to this.
I don't want to read through the stats. It was not a good day.
Adrian Martinez, 7 of 15 through the air, 22 yards and an interception. Andrew Bunch came in for a while. Andrew Bunch actually led Nebraska in rushing that game. Nebraska had to punt 9 times.
It was not a good game.
It was not the best game. This is what Chase Winovich had to say after that loss.
Yeah, I would say after not even the first quarter, I'd say after the first series, whenever we scored the touchdown, I just felt like, I don't know, it just seemed like they didn't really want to be out there, at some points. I know that's going to come off as very controversial. It just, at some points, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to stop myself there.
I mean, how do you sense that? I mean, what do you?
It just you just feel it. I don't know. There's something about this game, especially there's an energy to it that you just feel. You look across the person across from you, and whether it's their play calling, like how they operate, how they move about. They just I don't know. I just didn't feel like they wanted it as bad as we did.
So let's hope
Chase Winovich, that's his name.
Let's hope on Saturday, following what we hope to be a Nebraska win over number 9 Michigan, let's hope we don't hear that clip.
Let's hope that Michigan didn't want to be out there. Huh? Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be it. I think Michigan wants to be there.
Oh, definitely. Well, they're number 9 in the nation, so they definitely want to be there.
How many Jim Harbaugh khaki jokes will there be made this week? Over, under 12.
Under. Way under.
Way under.
Well, who's making the jokes?
I'm sure.
Us? Players?
I'm sure I'll be making... Well, no player is going to make fun of Jim Harbaugh's khakis, but...
Maybe.
I bet I would. I wouldn't be surprised if any other shows do.
I'm going to say under. I'm going to say under 12. I'm not going to make fun of his khakis.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to think of a khaki joke.
Look, I'm not going to make fun of the man's khakis because he's on the hot seat for having winning seasons.
Okay, it's kind of crazy because at the beginning of the
year he
year,
doesn't beat one team and he's on the hot seat.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, it was Scott Frost and Jim Harbaugh who's going to be fired first. Now you're at the opposite. There's no hot seat talk in Michigan, in my opinion.
No, they love Jim Harbaugh again. They love Jim Harbaugh and his khakis.
Yeah, love also, his headset is. His headset's probably one of the coolest in.
Why? I don't know what
they have. So he has it's sponsored by Dodge, and so it has the Dodge. It's one of the cooler looking.
I'll
ones.
have to.
He doesn't have the giant windsock either.
Scott Frost is like the only one with the giant windsock. Everybody else has like the smaller ones.
Giant windsock, Scott Frost. So, all right, let's move on. Let's do the story time. Let's get this embarrassing story out of the way. Get your texting fingers ready. 464-5685. So as you guys know, I started Farrell's today, the 10-week challenge, kickboxing, getting in shape, want my shirts to fit better, want to lose the stomach, all that good stuff. So I go to bed last night and I'm setting my alarm and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try this new bedtime thing on my phone to where I can get into a routine where it has wind down time. It puts the phone on do not disturb automatically, all this stuff. And then it wakes you up at the same time every morning. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm thinking to myself, okay, for the next 10 weeks, I'm going to be getting up at 5:15 for Farrell's. So it's like, perfect. So I turn on my Farrell's alarm for 5:15 to have it all set up, ready to go. And I wake up at 6:15 and my 5:15 alarm did not go off. And so I was
class starts at 6.
My class starts at 6. So I was not able to go to my first day of Farrell's class.
I'm so sad.
And here's the thing is, yes, there were other class times that I could go to. I had an appointment at 8. I had class at 9:30. I had, I come here a little after 12. And so I was not able to go to any more of the morning classes. And then I have to work in the afternoon here. So I wasn't able to go to the afternoon classes. Mm-hmm. Well, here's where the good thing about Farrell's comes into play. They have virtual workouts.
Boom. Online.
So I did a virtual workout in my room. I did a virtual kickboxing workout for 47 minutes long in my room this morning.
Did you put your wrist straps on correctly?
No, I didn't put my.
You didn't put anything on?
I didn't put my gloves on.
You need to put the gloves on because the gloves, once you, they're not heavy at all. Like there's really no weight to them. But once you get towards the end of the workout, then they start getting heavy, and that's you got to keep your hands up. Keep your hands up, guarding your face, and jab,
keep the hands up.
You keep them up there, and after a while of doing that, your shoulders get a little tired. You want to drop your hands and drop the gloves, but you got to keep them up there because if you're fighting somebody, they're gonna punch you in the face if you drop your hands.
Yeah, it was. I definitely worked up a sweat. So unfortunately, and then I got the text that said, which I wanted, the accountability.
Jeff's checking in on you.
It wasn't from Jeff. It was from my instructor or the class teacher, whatever.
Nice.
And they're like, yo, we missed you at 6 a.m. Where were you? And I was like, it was not intentional. I want to
get there tomorrow. Get the weights in.
I will. I'm going. And that's the thing is I was like, this is not a good start to my first day.
Nope.
And I didn't want it to snowball. And so, Rico, did Jeff send you the videos of me doing push-ups?
Yes, I have videos of Nick doing push-ups and sit-ups that I may post at some point.
I did 36 push-ups in a minute.
I'm proud of you.
I was actually pretty happy about that one.
It was funny because you'd be sitting there and you're just like, I could just tell you're getting tired. You're putting your hips up. You're trying to rest, trying to stretch your shoulders out and everything. And I was like, this guy, look at him. Look at him.
It was
struggling.
Painful. It was painful.
It's great.
It had been a long time. All right. You want to knock through this Urban Meyer thing before we get to Nebraska?
Yeah, let's hit on Urban Meyer.
All right. So if you guys don't know, Urban Meyer was videoed rubbing up against the girl was
sitting
Urban
down. Meyer was videoed sitting on a stool at a bar, and a woman who is not his wife was dancing in front of him while they were talking to other people. They were just in a bar setting. It was for a friend's something or other. Well, I don't know.
He was in his restaurant, I believe. And so he was in his restaurant and there was this video that went out on TikTok, I believe, of this happening. And he had to apologize, obviously. And he had an 11 a.m. press conference today. Here is Urban Meyer kind of explaining why he was there.
And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and just stupid. Should not have myself in that kind of position.
Urban, did you fly back with the team, or did you stay in?
I stayed to see the grandkids, and we all went to dinner that night at the restaurant. And then there's a big group next to our restaurant, and they wanted me to come over and take pictures, and I did. And trying to pull me out on a dance floor, screwing around, and I should have left.
What has been your overall thought, Rico, of Urban Meyer's time in Jacksonville?
I think that he still needs some time to get everything correct because this Jacksonville team won a singular game last year, and it was their very first game. They went on, they're currently on a 19-game losing streak. So I don't blame him for that. They've looked competitive in a couple of their games, but it's his first time coaching in the NFL. He's getting used to it's a different grind, I guess. I'm guessing, I wouldn't know, from college to the NFL. So he's still getting used to that type of grind. But I'm not going to make any snap judgments about Urban Meyer in Jacksonville right now, although it doesn't look great.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good first couple months of his time in Jacksonville.
No.
It's been, and this just kind of piles onto it. And he went on to say during his press conference that he talked to the general manager, he talked to the owner of the Jags, obviously, and they understand and they know he understands that this stuff can't happen. But yeah, definitely not a great start. And if there's, as of right now, there's no USC Urban Meyer to USC rumors, but if those start swirling or he's, instantly retires or something like that, then it's just not a good look down the road, in my opinion. And so we'll just see what the future holds.
I don't know what to do with Urban Meyer. I still think he's going to be I think he'll be the coach in Jacksonville through the season. And I want to say he'll be the coach in Jacksonville next season, but I guess if they don't win a single game this year, maybe not.
Which, okay, speaking about winning a single game, how about what is going on with the Tennessee Titans? Losing to the Jets.
Well, they didn't have A.J. Brown or Julio Jones, so their entire offense turned into halfback dive, Derrick Henry, here you go.
And it's crazy because that worked last year.
It did, but they also had A.J. Brown and Jonnu Smith to throw the ball to throw the ball to if they needed to. But right now, it's just, they don't have any. They don't really have any wide receiver weapons or tight end weapons, so it's just Derrick Henry on his own.
Yeah,
but when you have, you can hand it off to him however many times you want, and then you have the threat of a play action going deep to a very talented receiver. That's how the Tennessee Titans get you. Well, they didn't have any extremely talented receivers in that game, and unfortunately, the Jets stepped up and won a game in overtime, as the Giants did too.
Yeah, which it had been. Excuse me.
You get there?
Yes, it had been a while since both the Jets and the Giants won in the same week. I will say. All right, let's move on to Nebraska. Had to get a couple things out of the way. We got a little bit of time left in the segment. All right, let's talk about Nebraska, Rico. How awesome was Saturday, right?
Dude, it was so great.
So we have a clip in there, and this actually got a little bit of traction about at halftime. It was about Scott Frost and how even though they were up 35-7 at halftime, this is what he had to say going into the locker room.
Well, we've run the ball pretty well between the tackles. If we can do that, everything else opens up.
You scored to start. You scored to finish the half. What do you want to carry over into the second half?
I'm still upset about the mistakes. We put a ball on the ground. We should have scored again. I thought the defense let up a little bit when we got up 3 scores. That can't happen. I'm going to get after them at halftime.
Are people upset about this?
No. I don't. I think they're on the opposite side of this.
Okay, because I saw a couple people, granted, not important people.
Yes.
I saw a couple people like, whoa, Scott, like calm down. Your team is up however much to 7. Like, they're doing a really good job. You need to chill out. I'm like, no, this is exactly what you want out of your head coach.
Yes.
You want him to demand perfection. Your team isn't going to be perfect. It's just not going to happen. But you want them to demand perfection from their team. And when you get up 3 scores, he wants them to keep the shutout. He's like, all right, you haven't allowed any points. Don't allow any points. We want to keep the shutout. You allow them to score. It's like, all right, come on, guys. Like, what we know you're better than this. We know you're better than this. Keep it going. Let's hold them to 7 points. And then the offense, you want them to perform at peak efficiency. You fumble a ball, luckily it goes out of bounds. If they would have recovered it, they would have been in pretty good field position to score and possibly have 14 points. And that's another thing you don't want to happen. So demanding perfection and going into halftime saying this is perfectly fine.
Well, and as a coach, I don't think I'm out of line saying this. You should always expect your team to be better than how they are playing. Even if they were up 35-0, you would still expect, there's obviously going to still be things that need to be fixed or need to be tightened up.
Or at least wanting your team.
Yeah,
to play
there you
better.
go. Yes. Yeah. You can't sit here and tell me that Nick Saban, when he's undefeated and going into the halftime of the national championship game up big, is saying, you know what, we got everything, we can just kind of can coast the rest of the way out.
Nick Saban has been filmed yelling at his players when they're playing an FCS opponent and they're up by 50, because he wants it to be perfect. Because you when you're in the game, you're playing, even if you're a backup, you false start and it's just like, no, whatever, no big deal. You get into that, I'm not going to say you get into a habit, but it just kind of goes into your mind like, oh, we're up big, I can make mistakes. One thing leads to another. All of a sudden, you're not up big anymore. And if the team gets a couple more breaks, you could lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying, up 50 against an FCS opponent, you're going to lose that game, or 56-7, you were going to lose that game. But you never know. One mistake could compound on another, and it could lead to a snowball effect of nothing going right, where in this game, everything seemed to go right.
Well, and right from the get-go, let's talk about the start for Nebraska on Saturday in the first half.
You want to talk about this?
Loved the play call right out of the gate to get Samori Toure. And I know there's been some pushback of, oh, good thing that Samori made an athletic play. Well, you're going to need that every now and then. It's something that we haven't seen a ton out of Frost's playbook the last couple years, them trying to make a big play happen right out of the gate. The new look offensive line of Teddy and Nuili and Juergens, Sichterman and Corcoran, they were winning the battle up front in the first half all along, which allowed Nebraska to develop a running game, something that one of those things that we say is going to open up the offense if it is given time and it's given the light of day, basically, if they stick with it, even if it's not as successful as it was on Saturday. They miss on fourth down early in the second quarter. I do wonder, the defense was playing out. I love the call of aggressiveness on the fourth down to go for it. I was surprised to see the specific personnel out there. I'll just stop right there. Let's start in the second half. The second half couldn't have started any better. We've talked about it many times about how they come out flat in the second half. And this was one of those games that in recent years, you've seen Nebraska before come out flat and allowed a team to come back, whether that's Nebraska playing flat or the opponent playing exceptional,
making adjustments and being able to get at Nebraska.
It's been, and in that case, that means Nebraska not making halftime adjustments, even when they're winning. It couldn't have started any better. You get your first 3 and out of the game, one play, 83-yard touchdown by Betts. Great play. Awesome. And going back to establishing,
that's what they've been trying to do with Betts when they go on the little forward pitch pass when he's running in front of Adrian off the snap. You just try to get him into space and let him outrun everybody, because he is going to be faster than just about everybody else on the field. So when you could get him into space, and the perimeter blocking, oh my goodness, was just beautiful by Prohaska, Nueli, and Vokalek on that play. I believe it was Teddy and
Toure
Vokalek
was there as well.
I think, it might have been Toure as well. Just the way they opened up the hole, and he was able to just shift from first gear to second to third and just outrun everybody. It was just a thing of beauty. And I hope we see that play more often, because they've been able to run so many different things out of that triple option look, where they have the receiver, shift back into the backfield. They snap the ball. They either hand it off, Adrian keeps it, they run the pitch, or they throw out of it. Like, there's so many different looks that they can get out of that play action right before the play, right, or out of that motion before they snap the ball, that it's just beautiful.
Well, and like I just said, you talk about establishing a running game. Obviously, you have the 64-yard run by Jaquez Yant, and then you have an 83-yard run by Betts as well. That certainly helps. And then, that 83-yard run, I believe, was the longest since Taylor Martinez against UCLA, I believe, by a Husker, and that was in 2012. And so quite a while.
It's been a while
since they've had a long run. If you think about it,
you've had Adrian's 75 this year, but
which I think Taylor Martinez's was a 75.
Okay,
out of UCLA, even though he ran around and went.
Was a Wisconsin one? There
was a Wisconsin one, and so text line 402-464-5685. You can fact check that if you'd like. All right, when we come back, I want to talk about the skill positions and the defense a little bit, because the skill positions, meaning running backs and wide receivers, because we're finally starting to see some consistency, some guys that all offseason long, it was, we just need these guys to be there. And they're finally being a staple in the offense. And we've seen that because guys have been injured. The starting guys that we knew were already there have been injured, and those guys behind them have needed to step up. So we'll go ahead and take a break. 402-464-5685. Get your thoughts in from Northwestern. We'll get to those, and we'll talk about the skill positions after this.
Follow Nick and Enrique on Twitter at Nick_Sainert and at Radio Rico AC. More of Happy Hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Ready for this?
1, 2, 3, up.
At Madonna Rehabilitation Hospitals, we help rebuild the lives of people who've experienced traumatic illness and injury. With clinical expertise, cutting-edge research, and innovative technology, Madonna delivers world-class rehabilitation for adults and children. We restore hope one step, one word, and one breakthrough at a time, so our patients and their families can have confidence when we tell them, now you can. Learn more at Madonna.org.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
Join 93.7 The Ticket on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes one-on-one at 3 with Sean Callahan. Jay Foreman joins from 4 to 6 p.m. to preview the Michigan game. And Buzzy Carruthers goes from 6 to 8 p.m. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
Venue at Home is your answer for locally made, freshly prepared meals delivered to your door every week. Our meals come ready to heat and eat. With sizes for 2 people or 4, Venue at Home is perfect for busy people who want a quick, easy, and delicious meal option to share with your roommates or feed the whole family. Add on from our wide selection of appetizers, sides, desserts, alcohol, and more. Receive a discount on your meals by subscribing to get Venue at Home delivered every week. Visit venueathome.net to order today. That's venueathome.net.
Brokers Insurance Agency is currently hiring full-time and part-time insurance professionals. They will provide you with the training and education to obtain your insurance licenses. Brokers Insurance Agency takes pride in educating clients with the best insurance program to help their clients meet their specific goals. If you're a hardworking, motivated person and would like to discuss a great career opportunity with Brokers Insurance Agency, please call Ken Richards at 402-420-5353 or email service@brokersinsuranceagencyne.com. The team at Brokers Insurance Agency is looking forward to helping you get started with your insurance career.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
At Mountain Dew, we support the best and baddest disaster relief group in America, Team Rubicon. To show our support of Team Rubicon, Mountain Dew put in $1 million. And now you can help Team Rubicon too. Look for specially marked Team Rubicon bottles of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Enter for a chance to win weekly prizes at MountainDewTR.com and donate to Team Rubicon. You'll earn exclusive rewards when you do. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 and older. Subject to rules at MountainDewTR.com. Ends 10/3/2020.
This is your high school minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. On Thursday, Noah Walters from Lincoln East continued his dominance this football season. He lit up number 10 Millard West for 350 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. The Spartans would win 41-10. Also on Thursday, Fremont shut out Lincoln North Star 49-0. Lincoln East beat Millard West 41-10. Lincoln Southeast went over Pavilion La Vista South 35-21, and Lincoln Pius was held scoreless against Millard South 36-0. In Class A volleyball, number 3 Millard West upset number 2 Lincoln Southwest. After being down 2 sets, they rallied back and won 3 straight. Maddie McTaggart led the way for Millard West with 16 kills. In other local volleyball matches, Lincoln High lost to Grand Island in 4 sets. Omaha Westside swept Lincoln North Star in 2 sets, and Lincoln Lutheran swept Ashland Greenwood and Omaha Roncalli, both in 2 sets in the Ashland Greenwood tournament. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A little bit of high school news real quick. 17 hours ago, Noah Walters put this on Twitter. Amazing opportunity to take my talents to Iowa State.
Go.
So Noah Walters, Lincoln East quarterback, has an offer to Iowa State.
Finally.
Also has Wayne State in there. There's a couple other ones.
Well deserving.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brock Purdy. If you set any records at Iowa State, they're going down.
Bemidji State was on there. Wayne
Bemidji State.
Bemidji.
They're the Beavers.
Did I say Bemidji?
Yeah, you did.
My bad.
Bemidji State.
So yeah, so congrats to Noah Walters on getting an offer to Iowa State. All right, let's talk about Nebraska's skill positions.
Hold on,
really quick,
before you get to Nebraska's skill positions.
Oh yes, of course.
We need to send a massive shout out to one Jordan Burroughs.
Yes,
at All I See Is Gold on Twitter, which is just a fantastic fantastic at.
It would only fit him though.
The man has won gold at the World Wrestling Tournament. I don't know what it's called. It's in Oslo. Worlds for Team USA. He won gold, which is his 5th world title and his 6th Olympic/world title. So he has 1 Olympic title and 5 world titles. And I think this is his last year wrestling also.
Yes.
I think that he said that this was his last year. So he's going out on top.
And Nebraska Wrestling tweeted out a really cool picture with him and Mark Manning.
Yes.
It was super cool.
Name a more iconic duo.
It was super cool. It's awesome. So
shout out Jordan Burroughs.
Yeah.
World champion for the 5th time. Going out on top. You love to see it. Things you love to see.
Yes. All right. Let's do this real quick. Let's talk about the skill positions. We'll start with running backs. Ramir Johnson, still running well.
Look, nobody saw that coming.
12 carries, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great to see from Ramir Johnson. Also,
shout out to the small back who I'm still apologizing for what I said before the Michigan State game. You know, he did good against Oklahoma, but I don't know how well he's going to do against Big Ten defenses.
Yeah.
I was wrong. He's doing great.
Okay, so let's throw a little bit of flashback in time here, because while we're talking about the running backs.
Flashback.
So on the ticket tailgate pregame show before Illinois back on August 28th,
back in the day,
we had a little activity. I was not a part of this activity to begin with.
You're not supposed to be.
I was not supposed to be. So Tom was in here. He was Ryan Held.
Yes, he was.
You were here. You were Sevion.
I was Sevion Morrison, my guy.
Jake Bachhoven was Gabe Irvin.
Yep.
And Happer was Marquise Stepp.
Yes.
And they were trying to convince Ryan Held why they should be the starting running back.
Because that was when we still didn't know who was going to be the starter.
Yes.
Turns out Bach was right.
For a while. And I grabbed this clip from there because it's very relevant today. And it's time to bring it back up.
You messed up Dedrick Mills, and now is your chance to make it right. Wow. I am built like Dedrick Mills. I am ready to do what is asked.
Hi, I'm Jock Yant.
You Jockey from out of nowhere.
You can't forget about me. We can.
Why do you have an accent?
His name is Jacques. We can line up in the fullback.
Yeah, you could be my lead blocker when I punch it into the end zone.
I like blocking.
It turns out.
Sounds like more like Jacques Cousteau than Jacques Yant.
Where'd that guy come from?
I have no idea,
That
but I might pick him.
He might pick him. He picked him.
Jaquez Yant. Jaquez. Whew. I put the pronunciation on my Word document, and I still messed it up. Whew.
Jaquez
Yant. He doesn't just like blocking. He likes running through guys.
Look, I was
13
saying
carries, 127 yards.
I'm so mad he didn't get a touchdown. I'm so mad. Could you imagine? That place would have erupted if he would have scored at all. But you could kind of tell when there was a play where he ran right up the middle. A Northwestern linebacker had a free shot at him, and he broke down and kind of went to the side to tackle him. And Yant was like, "Go away," and just stiff armed him aside.
The stiff arm was a sight of beauty.
The Northwestern defenders did not want anything to do with seeing Jaquez Yant head up. Like if they were going to go head up with him, and they were like, "I need at least 3 other people because I'm not taking the brunt of this hit by myself." The dude lost weight, is still a bowling ball. Flying down the alley, ready to hit some pins. Northwestern's defenders were the pins. I'm sorry about it. It was impressive to see him get to the edge and start outrunning people that was 64-yard run. It was fantastic.
That's the thing that you kind of saw on Saturday. This guy isn't just a north to south back. He has that lateral movement that he'll be able to go a little side to side. Obviously, it's not to the capability of what we expected Gabe Irvin to be like, or even Ramir Johnson, but he has the ability to, and that's special. And when you compare that with him being a bulldozer and somebody that you can feel confident in lining up in the goal line formation with,
just hand it off to him and get 2 yards.
Exactly.
It's super impressive. Granted,
it's
Northwestern's
exciting.
defense, Northwestern's linebackers are slower
Absolutely.
than what you are going to see against Michigan or Ohio State or some of these other Big Ten teams. But still, the fact that a man who's over 220 pounds can move as fast and as fluid as he looked, and still lower his shoulder and drop you into the dirt with a stiff arm is extremely impressive.
And actually, so there was a clip in there, I believe, from Frost today talking about Ramir Johnson and Yant as well. And here's what he had to say about their performance on Saturday and what the running back room looks like going forward here.
Well, the one thing I said about Ramir is he took the competition seriously. He kept improving. He's running hard. He's running hard between the tackles. He's got speed. He's still got room to grow, and we'll keep letting those guys compete. And obviously, Jock's in that competition now. So sooner or later, one will step forward and be the lead guy. Right now, it's been Ramir, but we'll keep putting the guy out there that gives us the best chance.
So they're still going with that same mentality of whoever has the better week of practice. And in the last couple games, it's been Ramir Johnson. And you've seen that on Saturdays.
Whoever has the hot hand in the game, because after Jaquez had that long run, he had to come out because he needed a breather. But, the next series came up and he was the first back out there, and they kept handing it to him and until he kind of slowed down a bit. Then they started going with Ramir, and then they got up by enough. They started subbing other people in there.
Yeah, so they're still going with that same mentality of whoever's having the hot hand in practice. But it's also a promising sign when a younger guy like a Jaquez Yant, who hasn't been in the mix the previous couple weeks, it sounded like, is now here and is in the heart of the competition. Because all season long, all off season, all you're thinking and hoping for is somebody in every single room that you have, despite maybe this year with the quarterback room, because there was no real guy challenging Adrian Martinez. You hope that there's that level of competition there to where guys are challenging other guys in that same room for playing time.
where if you make a mistake, you have somebody behind you that you know could take your spot.
We've seen it with, I mean, you can even point to Ramir Johnson. We've seen it multiple times in the running back room, right? It was Gabe Ervin, then it was Stepp, but then it was Sevion, and then it was back to Gabe Ervin, and then he got hurt, and now it's been Ramir Johnson consistently. You've seen that change. And so despite that one guy not necessarily taking the job, which you'd like to see, it comes to sound like it's more of a everybody is talented enough to be the starting, or there's a couple guys, not everybody. There's a couple guys that are talented enough to be the starting running back, which they feel good about. And it's starting to sound more like that rather than there's not one guy that's taking a job.
So whoever looks the best going into the game is going to get the carries. If you don't show out in the game, we have plenty of people behind you who are willing, able, and capable of taking that job and running with it.
And that's something that Nebraska hasn't had in the last couple of years. You could argue Dedrick Mills was that guy, but the staff didn't really, I wanted to say trust. I didn't mean to say trust.
Well, as Happer said in that clip that you cut out, they mismanaged Dedrick Mills. They did not run Dedrick Mills as much as they probably should have.
Yeah. And that's, I've been that one of the bigger voices here saying that it's too bad that we haven't been able to see somebody in that running back room take that job. Well, now I'm not saying that's not the case anymore, because obviously you would like to see one guy really step out in front of the others. And Nebraska's not there quite yet, but you're starting to feel, at least I am, that they're starting to lean towards we have a couple guys that are capable of starting. And in recent years, it's been, well, we have a couple guys that are at the front of the pack, but if we had one more guy that was really in front of them, that would be nice.
Like, we have some guys that are really nice. They don't do everything that we need them to do, but they do some of the things really well.
It doesn't feel like that. And I'm not just saying that
because you see Ramir Johnson pass blocking and run blocking. It's fantastic.
And I'm not just saying that because they ran for a ton of yards against a team like Northwestern. They ran for 434 yards. I'm not saying that because it's following that game. I'm saying it because it's the body of work in the last couple of weeks. I think we have a phone call.
We do.
402-464-5685, Honda of Lincoln hotline. We have Tom on the line. What's up, Tom? Sorry to keep you waiting, man.
Hey, no, that's fine. I just totally wanted to call you guys out this afternoon for something that you guys both said last week to your 12 listeners. And
hey, we have 12.
That would be, maybe 13 today since I'm listening.
Oh, Tom.
You guys said that there was no way that the Red Sox would lose to the Orioles. Not one game.
Did we say that, Tom?
They lost 2 to the Orioles, the great team of 107 losses this year. So if one of you guys is a Red Sox fan, keep up the good work.
Thanks, Tom.
I don't recall saying this.
I will
also,
say,
I wanted the Red Sox to lose every single game to the Orioles. I want the Red Sox to lose every single game they play.
I will say, so I make the rundown for every show. We did not talk about MLB.
I think we did. I think he's mistaking us for Happer and Schaefer.
So
they talk baseball. They talk baseball a lot.
They have the 12 listeners.
Although Bach is a Red Sox fan, so maybe he said it. I don't know. There are 2 shows before us that definitely would have talked about it, but it was definitely not.
I'm not saying we won't talk about baseball ever, because actually later on in the show we're going to talk about the Yankees.
I thought he was going to compliment us on something we said, because I remember us talking about Adrian Martinez and how great he was.
That's hilarious, though. I mean, hey Tom, I appreciate it. You calling somebody out.
Shout out Tom for calling somebody out on the Red Sox.
But you're calling out the wrong show. But hey, it's all good.
Can I get a quick rant in really quick?
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
So last week, I don't remember who we had. I think we had 2 people call in saying something about Adrian Martinez making the correct throws. And, he has the big body wide receivers that he needs to just throw the ball up to and let them make a play. Well, guess what? To start the game, Adrian Martinez threw the ball up to Samori Toure, a big body wide receiver that they got, and let him make a play. And everybody was excited, except for the not significant, but the large base of Adrian haters who said, well, he just threw it up there as a 50-50 ball. He's lucky Samori Toure came away with it. Isn't that what you wanted him to do? Didn't you want him to throw it up there to the big body receivers and let them make the play? Why are you getting mad all of a sudden? He did exactly what you wanted to do. And if you get the camera angle from higher up, you see exactly what he was seeing. The safety on the right side was biting down on the receivers on the right side of the line. Samori Toure ran like a post route, was coming across the middle. Adrian sees it. He steps up in the pocket because he's getting pressure from the left side. He steps up, sets his feet, and tries to chuck it to the right side of the field where there's a massive opening. Well, the safety over there saw what was happening and started moving back as soon as Adrian threw it. So he got into position, but Samori Toure, being the great athlete that he is, jumped in front of the pass, grabbed it, and we had ourselves a ball game after that. But people wanted to say, he only threw it up there. He's lucky it wasn't intercepted. He knew what he was doing. He was throwing it up to his athlete. He's letting his guys make plays. Don't get angry at him when he does what you want him to do just because you hate him. Chill out, people. Goodness gracious. Okay, I'm good now.
You need to sound angrier, according to Eric and Lincoln. This is what he says. Rico needs to work on his rant volume. Needs to be louder. That was more of a medium take.
Okay.
Sound angrier, Rico.
Okay, I'm sorry, Eric. I'll work on it.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I'll have a lot to rant about.
So, okay, let's get to a couple texts here before we take our final timeout. Eric and Lincoln, once again, first few games, I think they could have just run straight downhill. After figuring out we couldn't, the motion option attack has been used more, and that's working better. Keep doing it. Yeah. Angry Rams guy, I get Northwestern was slow, but you don't have to be that fast at his size, and he's fast enough. I absolutely agree. Do what you know how to do, big boy. Do what you know how to do. And he's not even that big. I mean, he's big, but he's and this is this
Frost said they weren't playing until he lost weight.
This can be applied to the following text by an unnamed texter. Still scratching my head that was Yant's first game action. 6 games in, they can say all the practice stuff. I honestly just don't know what to think.
Technically, he got in the Fordham game, but
yes. But here's the thing is, so the staff said a couple times in the last couple weeks that he's been close, but he just needs to lose weight. They wanted to lose weight. And a couple weeks ago, I mentioned something about how that made me a little worried, but that made me a little worried because they haven't shown the ability to manage weight all that well. But Saturday's game and Yant's performance against Northwestern showed some progress.
Yeah, they said they wanted him to lose weight and get into better shape, better conditioning. So they had to wait a couple games before that happened, and he was ready and he showed out.
Yeah.
Now, if he can keep the weight off or keep the conditioning going or turn that weight into some good weight, then we're good to go. We got ourselves a nice Big Ten West running back.
Absolutely agree. All right, let's take our final timeout. Good discussion on the running backs there, and thanks again, Tom, for the call. Let's when we come back, let's talk about the wide receivers. Let's wrap up this talk. We'll get to a couple more of your text. We'll wrap up the happy hour on a Monday next.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day long wherever you are. More of the happy hour is next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
Join 93.7 The Ticket on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP goes one-on-one at 3 with Sean Callahan. Jay Foreman joins from 4 to 6 p.m. to preview the Michigan game. And Buzzy Carruthers goes from 6 to 8 p.m. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health. We take our college football Saturdays so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one postgame show simply isn't enough. Join Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and DP for the Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point and bring in special guests as well, with giveaways to listeners who drop by. It's the Ticket Postgame with Jay Foreman and DP at Tanner's Bar and Grill. Sponsored by Action Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, and Vinny Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Venue at Home is your answer for locally made, freshly prepared meals delivered to your door every week. Our meals come ready to heat and eat. With sizes for 2 people or 4, Venue at Home is perfect for busy people who want a quick, easy, and delicious meal option to share with your roommates or feed the whole family. Add on from our wide selection of appetizers, sides, desserts, alcohol, and more. Receive a discount on your meals by subscribing to get Venue at Home delivered every week. Visit venueathome.net to order today. That's venueathome.net.
Listening to this Allstate commercial about savings might be the hardest thing about getting those savings. Save for simply becoming an Allstate customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. Allstate. Minimum effort, maximum reward.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Smoothbrook, Illinois.
At Mountain Dew, we support the best and baddest disaster relief group in America, Team Rubicon. To show our support of Team Rubicon, Mountain Dew put in $1 million. And now you can help Team Rubicon too. Look for specially marked Team Rubicon bottles of Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, and Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. Enter for a chance to win weekly prizes at MountainDewTR.com and donate to Team Rubicon. You'll earn exclusive rewards when you do. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 and older. Subject to rules at MountainDewTR.com. Ends 10/3/2020.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. On Thursday, Noah Walters from Lincoln East continued his dominance this football season. He lit up number 10 Millard West for 350 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. The Spartans would win 41-10. Also on Thursday, Fremont shut out Lincoln North Star 49-0. Lincoln East beat Millard West 41-10. Lincoln Southeast went over Pavilion La Vista South 35-21, and Lincoln Pius was held scoreless against Millard South 36-0. In Class A volleyball, number 3 Millard West upset number 2 Lincoln Southwest. After being down 2 sets, they rallied back and won 3 straight. Maddie McTaggart led the way for Millard West with 16 kills. In other local volleyball matches, Lincoln High lost to Grand Island in 4 sets. Omaha Westside swept Lincoln North Star in 2 sets, and Lincoln Lutheran swept Ashland Greenwood and Omaha Roncalli, both in 2 sets in the Ashland Greenwood tournament. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Have you been to Barn Wood and Leather, that new furniture store in Lincoln? It's a whole new look. If you like country, you'll love Barn Wood and Leather. It's country with a kick. Rustic, yet contemporary. Handcrafted in America from historic reclaimed barnwood and the finest leather. Create your own one-of-a-kind look for a room or your whole home. Come see for yourself at Barn Wood and Leather, South 14th and Dahlberg. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Now back to the happy hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez Clary on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's been a couple days since we've seen the Rico. And here it is, folks. Shout out industry, baby. All right, back here. We've got a couple minutes left here on Monday's show. Appreciate all the input on the text line 464-5685, as well as the Honda Lincoln hotline last segment there. All righty.
That was for a win.
A lot of stuff about Adrian Martinez, his stats. Yeah, he's definitely probably the best. He's the best quarterback right now in the Big Ten in my eyes. And by a wide margin.
No, he is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about
it. By a wide margin. I'd say second would be Sean Clifford just because of consistency. Sean Clifford's really improved this year.
CJ Stroud showed out again, but
inconsistent.
Which
you can argue that Adrian did not have a good game against Michigan State, but it is what it is. Also, stick around at 3 p.m. D Boogie, Damian Daniels will be joining DP one-on-one. He'll go talk about that. And so make sure you stick around after me and Rico are done. All right, let's talk about the wide receivers really quick.
Hit them.
So at the beginning of the season, Samori Toure also has really improved his draft stock coming to Nebraska. And it's good to see that they incorporated him, right? It's good to see that they're involving him in the offense each game and by a lot. And so it is interesting. Now you look at a guy like Xavier Betts and you see a guy that possibly could take over as a number one receiver.
Question mark?
And has the makings and has shown so far this season that he is kind of ready to make that jump. And we hadn't seen him early on in the season, but Adrian Martinez was kind of asked about it because you kind of heard in the offseason that Xavier Betts kind of called him his own self out and said that he didn't work hard enough in the spring. Here's Adrian Martinez talking about Betts.
Yeah, I think I had mentioned something maybe before the season had even started about Betts and just the type of potential he has. And I think he's realizing that himself and really just putting in the work and continuing to build trust with his teammates and build with us, the quarterbacks. A lot of faith in him. He's a stud, and he's only going to continue to get better.
Xavier Betts is one of the more explosive playmakers probably in college football right now.
Well, no doubt on this Huskers team.
Easily on this Huskers team. He's one of the best. If you need a big play, you need somebody to go deep and take the top off of a defense, you send Xavier Betts deep. Like, he can beat just about anybody. It's just about, first off, is he going to get the ball? And secondly, is he, going to get off the line and get that ball?
Yeah, and I kind of mentioned to it or alluded to it a little bit earlier. It's great to see that a guy like Xavier Betts and even Omar Manning. Don't forget Omar Manning. Omar Manning in this game only had one catch, yes, but he's out there.
The receivers didn't have many catches because the running game was working so well. You didn't really have to pass the ball.
Yeah, like those guys are out there, and they're out there consistently game after game. And that's something that Nebraska fans, including myself, were worried about going into this season. How much can you rely on these guys to be out there on a game-to-game basis? It was kind of just a roller coaster. It was just like, where do you turn here? One more off the text line here before we close it out. We got about a minute left. Alex in Lincoln says, this game gave me hope. For the last few years of Frost, we have won a few Big Ten games that we were supposed to, but this may be the first one we were supposed to win that we fully dominated. Yeah, it was refreshing on Saturday to see a quick start and then carry that momentum all the way through.
And they didn't let up. They didn't let up. That was the thing, is even if you get the momentum, sometimes you end up letting up and you let a team back into it, or you just kind of lose some of that momentum. And they just kept going. They kept pounding the rock. They kept, making big plays, and it was beautiful to see.
I totally agree. And I've said it before. We'll talk about it a little bit later this week, is Scott Frost may be growing up. And we're seeing it right before our eyes.
I mean, we don't even have to talk about the defense. Defense was just amazing. Yeah. You'll hear more of that from D Boogie.
Yeah. Rico, you're out tomorrow.
Yes.
Big Sky will join me, so we will talk to you on Wednesday.
Adios.
Last year, the average starting pay for an SEC truck driver